Hey everyone, Entash here, and I want to talk about where you should be spending your energy in Destiny Rising, and I want to talk about the Acclaim level 14 wall. There's a lot of players that are trying to push up past 55,600 power. That is the big wall that you need to get past in order to progress your account, and you need to do it on 3 different characters. You can't do it on 2, you can't do it on 4, you gotta do it on 3. Before anything else if you want to progress. And there's a few different things that are going to hold you back. I want to talk about how you actually do this and where you should be spending your energy to maximize this progression. Now, here's the beautiful thing. Don't get scared. Everyone can progress pretty darn efficiently just following things like the new light challenge. If you're a new player jumping into the game, follow along, do these things, and this is going to get you 85-90% of the way. Doing the story quest and just playing the game naturally will get you 90-95% of the way even. But there's that one little bit, and if you don't pay attention to this, this is going to get you stuck for days, if not weeks, because in order to push past and get to Acclaim 15, where you start unlocking some other endgame activities, some better rewards, some different things, you need to hyper-invest into 3 characters. And in order to do this, you need to not only get up their relics and all these other things, but you need to get their total power level up. Now, if you're playing the game, for the most part, anything that you've done up to this point is progress. And it doesn't really matter what you've done up to this point. It's going forward that is going to be the deciding factor on how quickly you progress. If you spent a lot of time in Haven Ops doing strikes and Calamity Ops and whatever, that's fine. That's actually good. That's cool because you need to get a bunch of the different weapons to drop. You have tons of different mythical items that drop, and as you fill out this roster of weapons, as you get lucky and get these weapons, that allows you to get more acclaim. So that's progression. It needs to be done at some time. But for the most part, if you want to get to the next level and push past this wall, you need to not farm these long term. You can farm a few of them, get things going, get your builds going, but this isn't the limiting factor on your progression. So if you spend a bunch of times in strikes, that's okay. You probably are going to benefit from that. That's cool. But one thing that is extremely important is Calamity Ops. Now, even if you aren't actually doing pinnacle rewards, you need to do these attempts if you can, because you get 6 of them a day. And you need to push through these missions if you can do that. And you want to get this cumulative score up, because as you get this score up, and you get these things, there's different rewards that you can unlock. And these cycle rewards are going to be distributed in 2 days and 9 hours from this video. As you push through, you get better and better and better rewards. This is a bit of a ranking system, and if you can push through to the higher ones, you start getting hundreds and hundreds of these materials, which is very good. You also get these other rewards here. And if you can push all the way to the end somehow, I don't think anyone can, things start getting very lucrative for your account. And so if you're going to be farming anything, I would be farming in here, because it's kind of a double dip. You're making some progression. You can get these mythicals. You can get these exotics, yada, yada, yada. This is not a bad place to be putting some of your time and efforts, but you need to do this even if you aren't using your energy. Now, the other important thing is obviously doing the Gauntlet Onslaught or the Raid. This is a weekly reward, 3 out of 3, where you're going to get those juicy boosted rewards, and it's a 15% chance at an exotic. This is extremely important to do because exotics are a very big limiting factor in your progression, because you're going to need multiple copies of these exotics, and you're going to need an exotic period on many of your characters to get past 55,600 power, because you can invest in this, you can start getting catalysts for this. This is how you can kind of push past that power. So everyone should be working on doing their raid. The Legendary Campaign. This is another weekly thing that gives you some very important rewards. This allows you to get these catalysts. It allows you to upgrade these things. If you do not do this every week, you are throwing and you just won't progress. You will never, ever get past the wall long term. This essentially needs to be done. But then you might be questioning, well, what else should I be doing? Where else should I spend my energy? And the answer to that is, for the most part, all of your resources for relic upgrades, I've gotten probably 90% of the ones I've needed, not even farming this activity. You can get it from shops, event rewards, you can get a lot of them. The same thing goes with Morgan's Prey. You don't really need to do this. It doesn't really benefit you. You get a lot of that stuff from shops. This is down the road if you maybe get starved for resources. But the big thing that you need to do is once you've done your weeklies, and if you have been doing some of your Calamity stuff, Realm of the Nine is very good, and it's very important, and it's a must-do thing. Now, using energy and pinnacle rewards, it doesn't feel worth it at times, because it's a 6.8% chance of getting an exotic artifact, but you can also get 2.31% chance, I'll move my head there, of getting it without any energy, and it's very fast to farm. So you don't necessarily need to farm this and use energy for the artifacts. This is actually one of the best things, and one of the things you're going to need to farm without energy if you want to progress long term. But what you are going to need is a bunch of these bundles, these balls. You need a bunch of balls in your life, and if you don't have these balls, you're going to suffer. Because you need this for skills, you need this to get progression on your characters, because in your artifact tree, they have this little circle here. Some people don't even realize you can click this, but this is a whole other thing where you need to guild or level these things up, and each one of them requires a bunch of balls. It starts out, at like 1, and then 3, and now 5, and then you need multiple and exotic materials. It is brutal to get these, but it is a way to push up that power level. And so you're going to need to spend some time in a Realm of the Nine. And if you need these balls, that's, how you're going to get them. But you essentially have to have exotic artifacts. If you don't have exotic artifacts, you just cannot get past this wall currently in the game. It's impossible. And maybe if you have all mythical mods or something like that, but for the most part, you need exotics no matter what. The nice thing is, if you farm these things, you can put all of the same mods on all of the same characters. But some of them are elemental based, so the exotics are actually element based. So if you can farm kind of 2 characters that are solar, like Wolf and Tan2, or do multiple Void or Arc characters, that is going to help in this, but you're going to need to spend a lot of time in there, whether you're spending energy or you're farming without energy, to get these things and progress. And if you don't do that, you're going to be stuck. Now, the other big thing that you need to do, and I want to talk about, is you can do challenge mode, and you can do these master activities because it allows you to have mythical mods. And this is another way to push up past that wall. But I am personally holding off on this because getting keys is very tough. It is brutally tough to get these things. And so I am going to be hoarding these and waiting long term until I can do the Grand Master one and use the keys there. Because if it is that difficult to get keys, then I do not want to mess around and use them until I get the absolute maximum bang for the buck. And so instead of spending all of my energy and my keys on that thing, I'm just grinding. Even if I don't have energy, I'm just grinding this until I have exotic artifacts. And this is the big thing that you should be doing. This is the main thing that is holding everybody back. It is the main thing that you should be doing when you're out of energy, when you have a little bit of energy, just so you can get these things. Because even if you don't want to use energy because of the exotic chance doesn't seem that good, or it doesn't seem that valuable, you will just be behind on these elemental fruit, and then you are going to hit another wall that you can't push past because you need tons of these. You need like 500 of these things. So that's what I'm personally doing. I don't really care about getting any of the weapons. I don't care about doing any of these things because for the most part, the way I've played the game, I played with Yolder, Tan2. My weapons don't matter other than the exotics in a lot of cases, and my heavy weapon, and my abilities are super important. And I just don't really notice the difference in getting better weapons. The weapons are like, I don't know, man. Like a basic weapon with bad mods is like very close in value and overall clear time in a lot of these activities. So that's where I'm at. I am working on pushing and getting these artifacts, and hopefully in the next day or two, I can actually get past this wall and unlock the harder content. So that's where I'm at. Anything you do is progress. Don't get too stressed out. But if you don't get working on your artifacts and melding your artifacts, or whatever you want to call that thing, gilding, you're just out to lunch. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.